Do you love yourself? Not in the way the world sells it to you. The world tells you self-love is bubble baths, comfort, indulgence, treating yourself. No, not that. I mean real self-love. Do you love yourself enough to do what's right for you, even when it's hard? Do you love yourself enough to show up for your future self, even when you don't feel like it? Do you love yourself enough to hold yourself accountable, even when no one else is watching? Because that's what discipline is. Not punishment, not restriction. Discipline is the purest form of self-respect, and most people don't have it. They say they love themselves, but they keep breaking promises. They say they want more, but they keep choosing comfort. They say they want discipline, but they let their emotions dictate their actions. The truth is, you don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You don't need perfect conditions. You need to decide. Are you going to honor your future self, or are you going to stay the same? Because discipline is how you prove to yourself that you deserve more. Let's dive into part 1. Self-love means doing what's right, not what's easy. You wake up tired. Your alarm goes off. You know what you should do: start your day, train your body, improve your mind. But your bed is warm. Your body is heavy. Your brain whispers, just 5 more minutes. Even seeing video like this, you might think, I would love to be more disciplined. But it's easier to scroll on to the next video that requires less focus and makes you laugh for a moment. That's the moment self-love is tested. Not when things are easy, not when you feel good, not when motivation is high, but when your body, your mind, your emotions are all screaming for the easy way out. Real self-love isn't saying, it's okay, I deserve to rest. It's saying, I deserve to live at my highest potential. It's pushing through resistance, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Let's look into what Marcus Aurelius taught about discipline. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. Not to be comfortable, not to avoid struggle, but to do what must be done." Most people confuse self-love with self-indulgence. They think it's about treating themselves, about making life easier, about avoiding discomfort. But let me ask you something. Has anything great ever come from comfort? Strength doesn't come from comfort. Success doesn't come from comfort. Confidence doesn't come from comfort. You don't become the person you admire by choosing what's easy, because you are what you do consistently. If you consistently avoid challenges, you become weak. If you consistently procrastinate, you become unreliable. If you consistently make excuses, you become someone you don't even respect. Or, if you consistently push yourself, you become powerful. If you consistently show up, you become disciplined. If you consistently prove to yourself that you can handle hard things, you become unshakable. So tell me, who do you want to become? Because your actions decide. Let's dive into part number 2. Discipline is how you build self-respect. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you said you'd do something and didn't follow through? How many times have you promised yourself you'd start tomorrow? How many times have you let your feelings decide your actions? Every time you say you'll do something and don't, you weaken your own trust in yourself. You might not realize it, but your brain is always watching. Every time you hit snooze, every time you break a promise to yourself, every time you let an excuse win, you're telling yourself, I don't follow through, I don't keep my word, I am not disciplined. And then you wonder why you don't feel confident. Confidence comes from discipline. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn. Think about someone you admire, someone successful, someone powerful. Do you think they got there by choosing what was easy, by hitting snooze, by skipping the gym, by avoiding discomfort? No, they got there by choosing what was necessary. They built discipline, and that's why they have unshakable confidence. Every decision is a vote for who you are becoming. If you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you're reliable. If you do what you said you would, you prove to yourself that you are disciplined. If you push through resistance, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Or you don't. You let yourself off the hook, you make an excuse, you stay the same. And that's the difference between confidence and self-doubt. Now let's explore why comfort is the enemy of growth in part 3. You were not built for comfort. Your body grows through resistance. Your mind sharpens through challenge. Your spirit strengthens through struggle. Yet most people spend their lives avoiding all of it. They avoid discipline because it's uncomfortable. They avoid hard work because it's tiring. They avoid challenges because they might fail. And then they wonder why they feel weak, lost, unfulfilled. The world will tell you that self-love means being gentle with yourself, that it means taking breaks, that it means making life easier. But what if the world is wrong? What if self-love isn't about comfort, but about demanding more from yourself? What if real happiness doesn't come from avoiding struggle, but from overcoming it? Let's look deeper into how and why adversity builds strength. Imagine two people face the exact same obstacle. One sees it as a problem. They complain, they give up, they say, "This is unfair." The other sees it as a challenge. They push through. They say, "This will make me stronger." Same obstacle, different outcome, because how you respond to struggle determines everything. Think about it. If you avoid rejection, you never grow confidence. If you avoid tough conversations, you never build strong relationships. If you avoid discipline, you never accomplish anything worthwhile. You say you want confidence. Confidence comes from showing yourself you can handle hard things. You say you want success. Success comes from doing the things no one else is willing to do. You say you want self-love. Then prove to yourself that you deserve respect. Because the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of growth. Yes, growth is uncomfortable. Yes, pushing yourself is hard. But do you know what's even harder? Living a life full of regret. Because here's the truth. The pain of discipline lasts a moment. The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. One day, you will look back at your life, and you will either be proud of what you built, or you will wish you had done things differently. Which one will it be? Part 4. You are always training yourself for something. Every action you take, every choice you make, is training your brain. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are conditioning yourself. When you skip a workout, you train yourself to quit when things get hard. When you hit snooze, you train yourself to break promises to yourself. When you procrastinate, you train yourself to let fear win, or when you push through, you train yourself to be strong. When you take action despite fear, you train yourself to be courageous. When you show up, even on bad days, you train yourself to be unstoppable. What are you training yourself for? Weakness or strength? Excuses or action? Mediocrity or greatness? Because every single choice you make is a vote for your future self. And if you don't start choosing discipline, you are choosing regret. What is the science behind discipline and habits? There's a reason successful people seem to have an easier time with discipline. It's not because they're special. It's not because they have more willpower than you. It's not because they're naturally motivated. It's because they trained themselves to be disciplined. In psychology, there's something called neuroplasticity. It means your brain is always rewiring itself based on what you do. So every time you choose discipline, you are rewiring your brain to make discipline easier. And every time you choose excuses, you are rewiring your brain to make excuses easier. This is why successful people make success look effortless. They've trained themselves so well that doing the right thing becomes their default. And guess what? You can train yourself too. Here is how to rewire your brain for discipline. First, make discipline the default. Remove the decision. Wake up, train, have work, focus, no excuses. Secondly, reduce resistance. If you want to work out, lay your clothes out the night before. Make discipline easier. Show up every day, even on bad days, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Fourth step is to attach identity to action. Stop saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined." Start saying, "I am disciplined." And lastly, celebrate wins. Every time you follow through, remind yourself, "This is who I am now." If you repeat these enough, discipline stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like who you are. Part 5. If you look closely, the people you admire all have one thing in common. Think about the people you respect. Maybe it's an athlete, an entrepreneur, a leader. Maybe it's someone in your own life. What do they all have in common? Discipline. They train their bodies even when they don't feel like it. They work when everyone else is resting. They keep going when they fail. They don't let emotions control them. They are not special. They are trained. And if they can do it, so can you. But you have to choose it. Every day. This part might even be the most important to understand. Part 6. Motivation will fail you. Discipline won't. You think you need motivation to succeed? That's the lie that keeps most people stuck. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you wake up inspired, energized, ready to conquer the world. The next, you're tired, distracted, and suddenly all your big dreams don't feel so urgent anymore. This is why most people never reach their goals. They only work when they feel like it. They only train when they're motivated. They only commit when it's easy. And what happens when motivation disappears? They stop. They quit. They fail. The world isn't ruled by motivated people. It's ruled by disciplined people. This is the secret. No one wants to hear. High achievers don't rely on motivation. They don't care if they feel tired. They don't care if they feel uninspired. They don't care if it's inconvenient. They wake up and do what needs to be done, no questions asked. Why? Because they know something that separates winners from everyone else. You don't need to feel good to take action. You just need to take action. This is why discipline is the highest form of self-love. Discipline means you respect yourself enough to keep your promises. Discipline means you take control of your life instead of letting emotions run the show. Discipline means you show up for your future self, even when you don't feel like it. The world is full of people waiting to feel ready, but the ones who actually make something of themselves, they act first. So how to win without motivation? Most people wait for motivation to take action. You need to flip that. Take action first. Let motivation follow. Because here's what happens when you take action. You start moving. You build momentum. You prove to yourself that you are capable. And that creates the very motivation you were waiting for. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Still don't feel like it? Do it anyway. That's how you win. At this point, you're more than halfway through this video. What you are hearing is resonating with you because you want to be successful. You want to be disciplined. Subscribe to our channel to stay on your self-improvement path. 7. Build mental toughness or be broken by life. Life will test you. You will face failure. You will face rejection. You will face moments where quitting feels like the easiest option. Most people break under these moments. But you have a choice. You can let pain break you or you can let pain build you. Mental toughness isn't about never struggling. It's about never letting struggle stop you. You think warriors are born? You think champions are naturally fearless? No, they are built, they are trained, they are forged through fire, and so are you. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you build resilience. Every time you push forward, despite how you feel, you prove to yourself that you are unbreakable. The people who succeed aren't the smartest. They aren't the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to stop. So, how to build mental toughness? Do hard things on purpose. Make discomfort your training ground. Cold showers, hard workouts, pushing limits. Train yourself to handle difficulty. Control your mind before it controls you. The moment you hear an excuse, shut it down. I'm tired. Do it anyway. I don't feel like it. That's exactly why you should. Push through on bad days. Mental toughness is built on the days you don't feel like it. Anyone can work when they're motivated. What you do when motivation is gone, that's what defines you. Your mind is your weapon. Use it or lose it. Most people walk through life at the mercy of their thoughts. They feel tired, so they act tired. They feel uninspired, so they do nothing. They feel discomfort, so they quit. But the strongest minds, they control their thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Do you? If not, it's time to start. Because in the end, mental toughness isn't about being fearless. It's about being relentless. Part 8. Discipline isn't just about success, it's about identity. You think discipline is just about reaching goals? No. Discipline is about who you are becoming. Everything you do, every action, every habit, every decision is shaping your identity. Right now you are casting votes for the person you will be a year from now. When you show up even when it's hard, You prove to yourself that you are reliable. When you stay consistent, even when no one is watching, you prove to yourself that you are disciplined. When you do the work, even without motivation, you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. Or, when you take shortcuts, you prove to yourself that you are undisciplined. When you make excuses, you prove to yourself that you are unreliable. When you quit on yourself, you prove to yourself that you are weak. This isn't just about one choice. This is about who you are choosing to be. So ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Because your daily actions are answering that question for you. Let's learn about the power of identity-based discipline. Most people try to force themselves into discipline. They think, I have to be disciplined today, and they struggle, because they still see themselves as the person who skips workouts, who procrastinates, who quits early. They still identify as the old version of themselves. That's why discipline feels like a battle. But what happens when you shift your identity? What happens when instead of thinking, I have to be disciplined, you start thinking, I am disciplined? When you shift your identity, discipline becomes automatic. You no longer fight with yourself about whether to wake up early. You just do. You no longer question whether to train. You just train. You no longer debate whether to put in the work. You just work. Because that's who you are now. This is how discipline becomes effortless. So, how to shift your identity to become unstoppable? Stop saying, I'm trying. Don't say, I'm trying to be disciplined. Say, I am disciplined. Speak it until it's real. Act as your future self. Ask yourself, what would the most disciplined version of me do? Then do exactly that. Eliminate the option to quit. When something is non-negotiable, you don't need motivation. You just execute. Stack small wins daily. Build proof of your discipline. Every small win is evidence that you are becoming this person. Once you truly see yourself as someone who is disciplined, it stops feeling like work. It becomes who you are. We are coming towards the end of this video with part 9. The last decision you must make. Comfort or greatness. Look around you. Most people are living on autopilot. They are addicted to comfort. They spend their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready. And they never move forward. You know this. You've seen it happen to people around you. You've probably felt it happen to yourself. So now you have a choice. Will you be like them, or will you be different? The people who rise, who accomplish, who transform themselves, they make a different choice. They choose growth over comfort, effort over excuses, discipline over feelings. They refuse to let another year pass by without change. They refuse to waste their potential. They refuse to live a life that is anything less than extraordinary. And today, you must make that decision. Because whether you realize it or not, you're already choosing. Every day that you stay the same is a vote for mediocrity. Every day that you take action is a vote for greatness. Which one will it be? 10. Final call to action. Will you stay the same or will you change? This is not about tomorrow. This is not about next week. This is not about someday. This is about right now. You have two choices. Keep waiting. Keep making excuses. Keep waking up a year from now in the exact same place wishing you had started today. Or decide, right now, that everything changes. No more wasted time. No more broken promises to yourself. No more letting feelings control your future. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need better conditions. You just need to decide. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. So prove to yourself that you deserve more. And start now. If this message resonated with you, if something inside you is waking up right now, pushing you to be better, then don't stop here. The truth is, discipline isn't built in one day. It's a daily battle, a commitment you renew every single morning. And if you're serious about becoming the strongest, sharpest, and most disciplined version of yourself, you need the right mindset, the right tools, and the right reminders to stay on track. That's why Stay Stoic exists. This channel isn't about cheap motivation. It's not about empty feel-good advice. It's about mental toughness. It's about unshakable discipline. It's about turning words into action. Every video we post is designed to help you think sharper, act stronger, and build a life of purpose. Want to train your mind to be unbreakable? Want to stop relying on motivation and start relying on discipline? Want to learn the same principles that built history's greatest leaders? Then this is where you start. Join a community of like-minded individuals who refuse to be weak, who refuse to settle, and who refuse to let life just happen to them. Subscribe now to stay stoic and make the commitment to master your mind, conquer your emotions, and dominate your future. This isn't just another channel. This is the place where the weak become strong, where the lost find direction, where the disciplined are forged. The choice is yours. Keep scrolling. Keep looking for motivation that fades, or subscribe and start building the mindset that will change your life. If you're ready to commit, hit that subscribe button now. And welcome to the path of strength. Welcome to Stay Stoic.